Hi, my name is Michael. I'm going to be doing a video on stalemate tactics. We're going to start off by defining what is stalemate. Stalemate is when it's your turn to move and you have no legal moves to make in a position, and it is a draw. Here is a common example that many beginners fall into when trying to do the king and queen checkmate. If it were to be black's turn to move, it would be stalemate, as the black king cannot legally move into any squares. As all the squares around the king are protected by white's pieces. So the king is in stalemate. Here is a second very common example, and this is very important for many endgames. The black king, if it were to be black's turn to move, would also be in stalemate here, as the black king cannot make any legal move without being taken by white's pieces. And this is also a draw. We'll move on to our first example. This is an example from the US Championships in 1942 with Samuel Vinsky making a tactical mistake and allowing white to stalemate black. I give you a wee bit of time to solve the puzzle. White to move. Okay. As you can see, black is a much better position, with the passed G and H pawns heading to promotion. So white has to look for a forcing move in order to try and create a stalemate. Now, a forcing move does have to be a check and capture. It can be just anything that limits black's options. So the answer to the puzzle is queen f2. Now black has to take, or else he would lose his queen, as anywhere he goes along the diagonal, the white queen can take it, and then white would be in a winning position. And the queen cannot move away from the diagonal, as it is pinned to the king. After black takes the white queen, white is in stalemate, as the queen is covering all the squares around the king, and white has no legal moves in the position. We'll move on to our second example. This is from the Polish Championship in 1993. Black to move. I give you a little bit of time to solve it. Black can escape in this position with a draw by the clever move rook g1. The idea is that if white takes the rook, then black will be in stalemate, as the bishop is covering this b1 to h7 diagonal, and the rook is covering the g file, and the pawn is covering g5, and the black king has no legal squares to move. This is stalemate. If white tries to avoid the stalemate by moving his rook, then we can simply follow the rook and again with the same idea of stalemate. With an equal position. And if white has another attempt at avoiding the stalemate with rook h3, then we again do the same idea with rook g3 check. And now it's actually black who is winning. Again, to find these stalemates, you always want to look for moves that limit the opponent's options, and it's often the case when the king is tucked away in a corner and you don't have many pieces left. In both cases, I've only had pawns and one piece and a king in the corner. Now we'll move on to a harder example. This is from the FIDE knockout in 2004. Now white can force a draw here and in two moves. I give you some time to solve it. The first move is queen d8 check. Now this limits black's options and forces the king to go to e3 in order to avoid perpetual checks from if he went to c5, where he cannot accept the checks, or if he goes to e5, where again he cannot accept the checks. And if he ties the one on the king side, then he risks falling into a reverse position. After king e3, white now has a very clever move in order to force black to stalemate him. White can play queen d2 check. Now this forces black to take in order not to lose, as otherwise if black tried to avoid the stalemate with king f3, he'd again have a losing position after queen takes rook f2 check, with a winning position for white. And after rook takes the queen, white is in stalemate, as the rooks are covering all of the legal shares for white to move, and white has no legal moves, which, as we discussed at the start, is stalemate. We move on now to a much harder example. This is a Paul Kerr's study from 1933. It's white to move in this position. That gives you some time. Try and calculate the whole line before you make any moves in order to get the maximum out of this puzzle. And again, you're looking for a stalemate. Okay. So the first move is queen takes c3. The other options, like the queen moving back to c1, lose, as the passed e pawn is too powerful, and black will win this endgame. After queen c3, you would have had to have calculated what happens after rook f3, winning the queen due to the tactic. And after queen takes rook f3 and pawn takes rook f3, you now white has a stalemate idea by forcing the bishop to move into a position where it stalemates the black king along the b8 to h2 diagonal, and using the pawn on f3. If you're unable to solve the puzzle at the start, then try and solve it from here, where the first 3 moves have been done for you. White can play b5, and in order for black to stop the pawn, he must take on f2, and after again white pushes the pawn to b6. White, in order to catch the pawn, must take on d4, and again we have answered pawn with the same idea, so we're one away from promoting, and black needs to stop it. So again, this is a forcing move as it's limiting black's options. Now black has 2 ways to stop the pawn from promoting. He can go to e5, or he can go to a7, both with the same result, as after we promote to a queen, and where black is obliged to take, or else he'd be in a losing position, we have stalemate. As the bishop is controlling the diagonal, the d pawn is controlling the h4 share, the f pawn is controlling the g2 share, and because of this, white has no legal moves and is in stalemate.